Hey, what's going on? It's Thursday, the second cup, episode 3, third time's a charm, or the hat trick, or whatever. So trying a little bit different again today. My internet seemed to be working, so plugged into my aux and my JSX, no pedals, just this Strat straight in. Cheers to anybody watching this afterwards. I guess this is an awkward time of day to try to get people to jump on online. I've not really been promoting this either, which may be a bit of a snag when you think about it. But I figure I'll promote this a little bit better after I've got a few under my belt, because I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing with this. Really, the idea of the second cup is I get up and I have a cup of coffee. And then usually the very next thing I do before I start my day is do a little bit of a warm up or something and have my second cup of coffee either during that or after that. So what this is this is my holding myself accountable and making sure that I play guitar first thing in the day. And while that was not a great technical warm up, and I may include those um, little improvisational thing just to see what's happening with my thoughts, my thinking thoughts first thing in the day before I've had too much coffee. So anyway, I've just got the line out coming straight out of my aux into my Samson G Track Pro, and I do have the cabinet attenuated. So if you can actually adjust this a little bit, if I turn off the direct feed from the amp, you get this. And that's the cabinet in the room. Pretty quiet. And then here is with the aux blended in. So that delay and reverb is coming from the aux. That's not a pedal or anything. So if I turn that off in the room, you hear just that. So anyway, hopefully that comes through well, because this is the third of the second cup situations. The first one, a little tragic on my part because I did not plug in my interface correctly. Or at least my DI didn't plug that in correctly, so that was bad. And then yesterday when I went to do it, I was having internet connectivity issues, so I just played straight out of the cabinet just like this, but into my iPhone. So back on my computer, hopefully that sounds pretty decent. So if y'all have any thoughts on that, please feel free to. Ooh. Yeah, it's got some balls, and the other sounds good but quieter. So this is an improvement, is what you're saying, to the audio. The aux is a game changer for an interface. Like being able to record direct out like that with no cabinet at all is pretty remarkable. Sounds really good, and you can mix and blend microphones. Not that this is a demonstration of the aux, but it's easily my new favorite thing that I have acquired as of late. Really, really cool that you could use any tube head and change up cabinets on the fly with the app and change microphones and mic positions and add in a room mic and all kinds of things that you can't do. Like my main setup, I have a little ISO booth with a 212 cabinet, Glenwood, mic'd up, but it's basically a closet that has been fortified to not let so much sound get out. And it sounds really good, but any room microphone sounds or any room sounds I would have to do with a reverb plugin, because obviously there's no distance I can get off of the cabinet. So it's literally, everything is the sound right up against the speaker, which I think I've gotten that to sound pretty good. But I think having this to blend in with it, even if I did both things, because now I have those options, now I can do any number of microphony situations. Microphony sounds kind of like macaroni. It's getting close to lunchtime, so that might be why I'm thinking about macaroni. But in any case, the second cup. So what did I learn today by doing this episode of the second cup? I learned in the first place, this could be a 3-cup day. That's real. What I was playing was some kind of a E Mixolydian slipping into E Lydian situation. I did a little bit of minorization, or a little modal interplay, where I brought in an A minor chord there, just playing around with that A sharp to G sharp, and also the F sharp to F natural, throwing in a C natural for some fun on that too. So that's exciting if you're following. shouldn't play something that sounds too much like something else. But in any case, I do think the setup sounds spectacularly good. For my more aggressive sounding amp, that's bluesy. That's not bad. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it a lot. It sounds chewy. It sounds good. I kind of had visions, just opining for my next version of this, because I'm trying to keep these down to, the first one I did was about an hour because we got all chatty in the chat room, and that's all cool. But I want this to have a little bit of a rewatchability thing to us. I'm going to try to keep it down to 15 minutes. And when I initially thought about this, I was kind of thinking it would be like a meditation sort of improvisation, because I do that a lot. Usually when I pick up the guitar first thing in the morning, that's kind of what I do, is I just warm up on some different ideas that I don't know what they're going to be, just wherever my ear is guiding me on the day. I feel like today was a little generic because I was just a little more excited that things were almost working, and I didn't really get inside of that. But as I have this set up and I can drink my coffee and then just get up, grab a guitar, and start working through my first thoughts. And I don't want to get up and warm up. Like, that's not what this is about. This is not about me getting up and warming up and then putting on a performance. Like, I just kind of want my first thoughts to just see, like, how am I doing? What are my musical thoughts? How are my hands feeling for the day? I think there's an awful lot of polished stuff going on out there, and I'd rather this be real. And when else do you see somebody just pick up a guitar and play poorly first thing in the day? And that's kind of what I'm going to serve. I'm going to fill in that gap on the internet, because I don't think anybody's doing that. That's going to be my wheelhouse. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I may demonstrate. It's not really a demonstration, but there may be days where I'm doing, like, that's one of my go-to warm-up exercises. And that was poorly played as well, because it's really a suspension exercise. So maybe that'll be one thing I'll go over there. But it's difficult because you have to let those notes ring over. It's a suspension exercise, so not cutting off the notes too soon before you make the next move makes it a very difficult exercise. But it's really good because I find there's a bit of hand synchronization between the picking hand and the left hand that goes with that, because there's a little bit of string skipping that keeps that interesting enough to where you got to be mindful with not only your meeting of your left hand, but with your right hand. It's definitely not a speed exercise, because the slower it is, the harder it is to do that. So it's a good exercise, I find, for just all around. Like, if I had one exercise I could do before like a throw and go gig, like just running out to set up, that's probably one that I would do, rather than, some kind of an alternate picking exercise to just, do a faster thing. I don't find that that's the best use of my handily hands, depending on what the gig is, because usually you come out the gate and you're doing rhythm guitar stuff, not mealy kind of stuff. So yeah, that's a good one. So you'll probably see a little bit of that, and sometimes I'll play through progressions and improvise progressions. And sometimes I'll start writing and other things. But so yeah. Anyway, I think that brings us to the 15-minute mark. I'm going to finish my second cup of coffee, if y'all are joining along. And I even set an alarm to do just such a thing. Oops. Ta-da. I don't know what that's doing. Um, to remind me to stay to 15 minutes because I think that's going to be a winner for this. So, in any case, let me know what you think of these. Just trying to have some fun with it. Getting up and just first thoughts on the internet because reasons. I think those reasons are good. Um, in the description, you can see everything that I'm using. I think eventually I'm going to put some affiliate links down there because I think that's part of the thing to do for anybody who's interested in any of the stuff that I'm actually playing and using. Let's see what else. You can go to iTunes and support my stuff if you want to download some of my music. You can also there's links for tipping, or if you're into that kind of thing, if you're liking this and want to keep it going. Not that I'm really doing it for the tips, but people have been asking me to do stuff where they can tip. So even though this is a simple thing, hey man, what's going on? Good to see you. Warminess. I'm not sure. Your avatar is so tiny that I'm not exactly sure who that is. But good to see you. I'll give you some horns as well. So yeah, this is the second cup idea. They'll start out with some playing and then a little bit of reflection on what did I do? What did I do with my playing? What was I thinking? Sometimes, probably more often, it's just going to be a little bit horrible. But what I'm wanting to do is go through the psychological process of waking up and immediately thinking about being prepared to improvise or play something. Just get that part of my brain fired up so that I'm basically spending more of the day. Oh, Jason. Oh, good to see you, man. Good to see you. But anyway, get my brain thinking musically all day rather than putting off the stuff that I need to do. Because I've had a little bit of a motivation issue going on with whatever's happening right now. So just trying to find some productive ways of going through that, and it seems like doing it publicly is a good way to hold myself accountable for all of that stuff too. So if there's anything you'd be interested in me thinking about while I'm doing these second cup things, I can't promise I'll do it because more coffee is a motivation for actually doing stuff. And as I said, I'm still working on my second cup. So at noon, I actually got up fairly early today, so it took me a while to get to the second cup. It took me a while to get the guitar in my hand. That's on me. That's totally on me. But in any case, I will keep this short, and we'll see you tomorrow or the next day. I haven't really figured out my regularity on this. This may be an everyday thing. This may be an every other day thing as I have time to do it. But yeah. And I do just think that aux sounds great. So I'm super excited about that. Another good thing about that is I have a little bit of recording I need to do. I can't be stealing that from Ola England. That's his thing, which is probably why he does it, because he was doing it all the time. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. Paul, Jason, good to see you. We were small but mighty today. And like I said, I have not even been promoting when I'm going to be starting these things. I may want to point my face at the microphone. That may sound better. So yeah, just randomly gonna just pop on the internet and do this once a day until I figure out a more proper live stream too. But that'll be called something different. This is Second Cup. I'm Mike Martin, and I need to practice. That's what I learned today. So hopefully I'll get that done, and hopefully you guys are encouraged to practice and do some stuff as well. And let me know if you're doing this stuff online. And I don't know. Yeah. There you go. I'm going to stop rambling. We'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.